Hello class, welcome once more. This is Star English Form Structure and Sense Part 3. Question number 1. The sum of money one donates to registered non-profit organizations dash a deduction that can be made from one taxable income. For form, structure and sense, boundaries, questions on verb and subject-verb agreement, verb forms, we need to find out the subject and then agree it with the verb. Our subject here is sum of money. Sum of money means a total amount of money and that is taken as a single amount, right? That means I am looking for a simple verb with the S or ES and this is on number B, represents. Now you may question why not are representing, why not have represented. Remember, universal truth or general information will always take simple present tense, not any other form of tense. So our answer is number B, represents. Question number 2. An account of the professor's research and teaching, which described at length in the autobiography of his former student. So an account of professor is which are described at length in the autobiography of his former student. So now unnecessary a relative clause has been inserted over here, right? We don't require it. Let us see the choices. The professor's student in his autobiography lengthily described an account of the professor's teaching and student. No, main thing is the professor's research. Okay, is account of professor research is our subject. Professor student is not our subject, so cut it off. Number B, the professor student whose autobiography describes at length an account of the professor's research and teaching. Completely wrong type of relative pronoun being used here. Sentence is having grammatical error. Cut it off. Number C, an account of the professor's research and teaching being lengthy described in the autobiography of his former student being lengthy, having erratic error. Number D, an account of professor's research and teaching is described in great detail in the autobiography of his former student. Yes, this is the correct is described. Okay, this is followed by simple present tense, passive voice. We are looking for passive voice without using any type of relative clause structure. So number D is the answer and cut it off. Number 3, having difficulty swallowing vitamin C are a supplement children usually don't take. First of all, the sentence is having mistake. Why? Having difficulty swallowing. Okay, and then is vitamin C are. Okay, wrong auxiliary verb. Number A, having difficulty swallowing vitamin C are a supplement children usually don't take. Are is a wrong sentence verb. Cut it off. Vitamin C are a supplement children usually don't take because they have difficulty in swallowing it. Two mistakes. Vitamin D are, and before the subordinate clause they have put an unnecessary comma. Wrong. Cut it off. Number C, children usually don't take the vitamin C supplement having difficulty swallowing it. Okay, now this is having difficulty swallowing. Why? The reason is not profoundly given with a linker, connector or a conjunction, right? Rather, they have used a participle phrase in correct form. It is making the sentence clunky. Cut it off. Number D, children don't usually take the vitamin C supplement because they have difficulty swallowing it. See, a subordinate clause because without any comma, making a sense. Answer is number D. Number 4, it ought to be your mother with who you cut the cake, not I. With who? First of all, wrong relative clause. Mother is a noun and I is a pronoun. Okay. Now, so this must be interacting with I, mother and I. Number A, it ought to be your mother with whom you cut the cake, not I. With whom? With the person. Who? So with whom is the answer. This is our correct answer. Let's see B, C and D. It ought to be C, your mother with whom you cut the cake, not me. No, mother and I is getting together, subjective mood. Okay, mother and I, father and I, not me at the end, not this type of personal pronoun. Okay, it ought to be C. Already you are speaking of your mothers, and why should I take another type of pronoun here? Number B, wrong. Number C, it ought to be a mother. C, with whom you cut the cake. Totally wrong grammatical sentence structure. Cut it off. Number D, it ought to be a mother with whom you cut the cake, not me. Only one mistake, me. No, when you're speaking of a noun, of a common noun, it must go with the first type of pronoun I, not me. So D is incorrect. Now number 5. The thief evaded authorities for a long time because he conducted himself as though he was a bank teller. The first thing is that evaded for long because he conducted himself as though he was a bank teller. Hypothetical situation. If he were a bank teller, remember third type of conditional clause. Hypothetical situation. You are imagining you are in a world of fantasy. So when you are in a world of fantasy, you are in a hypothetical situation. You are taking where after the pronoun. Okay, so number A, as though he were a bank teller, as though he was a bank teller, incorrect. Like he was a bank teller, incorrect. As if he was a bank teller, as if, okay, but only was incorrect, right? So number D is also incorrect. Next, number 6. Okay. Since 1988, the mission of molecular gastronomy has shifted. Kurti and this originally sought to investigate kitchen worldwide tells, invent new recipes, improve old ones, and make the case to the public the science was a successful part of everyday life. So they have put up something on science and on molecular gastronomy, on kitchen worldwide tells to improve the style of science. Even if the experiments weren't intended to be replicated in home kitchens, they were intended to encourage home cooks to experiment. So even if the underlying part is this one, even if the experiments weren't intended to be replicated in home kitchen, so they were not actually targeting home kitcheners. Rather, their purpose was intended to encourage home cooks to experiment. Today, molecular gastronomists seek to explore the social, artistic, and technical aspects of food preparation. Okay, so here we have already got the answer. Even not reading this part, even it's so big, let us see the choices. Even if they experiment, even if they are Kurti and someone originally sought. Okay, so there are some mission of molecular gastronomy. Okay, and some type of researchers. So even if they are THEIR, yes, correct. They are experiment. Okay. They are THEIR, this is reflecting a place. Adjective, not a pronoun. Number B, no change. Yes, this is the answer. Number C, it's, even if it's experiment. Whose? It's neutral gender. It's, we are looking for Kurti and some other. Right? So if there, this is the correct number B, and again number D and number C are incorrect. Next. The traditional view of archaeologists usually involves a college professor who spends much of his or her time digging and researching in ancient foreign libraries, or a museum curator who works every day to preserve the artifact the museum holds. While this view isn't completely incorrect, it is incomplete, both in terms of the types of jobs available to archaeologists and in terms of the types of work within this type of jobs. Okay, very important point. For example, college professors may spend summers at dig sites, but much of their time is also spent writing grants, teaching students, and writing about their research projects. Additionally, although there are still many people who work in archaeology as professors and museum curators, the demand for this job, now they are looking for this one. Demonstrative pronoun, this job. We have already got one in terms of the types of jobs available to archaeologists and in terms of the types of work within these jobs. So see, already they are saying these means plural, not singular. Plural possessive pronoun, not singular possessive pronoun. That means close your eyes and mark these jobs. The demand for these jobs far outstrip the number of positions available, making the position difficult to acquire. Number A. Next, number 8. The Sagrada Familia has stood incomplete, a part of the Barcelona skyline since the early phases of its construction in 1882. This project, originally intended to be cathedral in a Gothic style, was begun by the bookseller Josep Maria Bocabella under the direction of the architect Francisco de Fuala del Villa. Del Villa and Bocabella imagined a basilica model on the Gothic rival churches Basilica has seen on trips to Italy. However, Bocabella's ideal basilica never came to be. In 1883, Del Villa resigned from this project, and 30-year-old Antoni Gaudí, a young but already well-known architect from Catalonia, took over as the lead architect. Which choice completes? Okay, now see, Barcelona Arch since the early phases of its construction. Now, early phases. Okay, that means phases must be plural. Okay, not possessive singular, plural of its, of whose, of its construction. This one, Sagrada Familia's construction, as a part of Barcelona skyline. That means phases of its, no, I am looking for these two things, okay, of its construction, right? Phases of it, no, phases of its construction, of its. Number C is the answer. Next, number 10.